So there comes the female GOAT, and these women are going from having 3,000 people in their arenas to 20,000 at the RSM Classic Prom. Caitlin Clark defied all expectations and once again demonstrated why she is a unique athlete of her era. Caitlin, who is well known for dominating basketball courts, has now established herself in the golf industry, leaving both fans and seasoned golfers in wonder. Her performance set a new standard in addition to being outstanding. Think about this. A basketball legend makes an instant impression when he shows up on one of golf's biggest platforms. Caitlin did more than just take part. She changed the game itself. I don't really care what happened. It doesn't really matter. I don't play it all for a living, and just have fun with it. Like, isn't that, super serious, enjoy the experience. If there were so many people that would, kill to be in my position or be in my shoes, or, the people that are following outside the ropes would love to have one opportunity to, hit a ball in the burst or something like that. So just remind yourself how cool this experience is and don't let it pass you by. But I think that's, anything I do in life. Caitlin's alluring demeanor and fearless attitude have given the sport new life. Her presence alone turned an ordinary event into a spectacle, solidifying her status as an influential athlete. Today, the Clark phenomenon was more powerful than ever. Get ready as we examine how Caitlin Clark made history at the RSM Classic by not just playing, but also elevating the game. I think a lot of things that me and Annika said is we share a lot of the same values, and I think that's really cool, being driven, but so do they at the same time. Like, obviously we're, professional athletes who played sport or whatever it was, but at the same time in their lives, it all relates, and I think people at times forget that. We're real humans too, and we're driven by the same things that they are. At the RSM Classic Prom, Caitlin Clark didn't just show up on the course. She possessed it with the assurance and expertise of an accomplished professional. It was clear that this was not your typical debut, as she began on the back nine. Caitlin showed that she wasn't merely experimenting with golf with a swing that combined force and grace. She was there to do a performance. Even the most ardent golf enthusiasts were enthralled by her performance, which silenced the doubters. Every single shot she made seemed deliberate, well-planned, and executed almost flawlessly. And it's so much different than basketball. That's why I love it. It's, individual. It's a challenge, especially mentally. Like, that's what's so beautiful about golf. And I think being outside, I love that. That's the one bad thing about being in the WNBA now. It's in the spring and the summer, part of the fall. I really miss a lot of opportunity to play. Caitlin's capacity to perform well under extreme circumstances was what really made her stand out. Golf is a discipline that demands optimal mental and physical form, and Caitlin eagerly accepted the challenge. The crowd was holding their breath after her second shot on the par 5 hole. It was outstanding, not just good, and put her in the ideal position to try for an eagle. Caitlin performed despite the challenges of switching to a completely new sport, transforming what would have been an intimidating situation into an opportunity to succeed. Commissioner J. Monahan and several top-ranking PGA officials trailed her on the course, obviously impressed. As he watched her play and see her master the course, Ian's friend and professional golfer Zach Johnson couldn't hide his admiration. His description of her as a contender who handles challenging situations with grace reverberated throughout the day. Focus, determination, and flexibility were all evident in Caitlin's performance. However, the atmosphere she created was what really made her day memorable. The spectators weren't merely supporting golf. They were cheering her on. Her admirers followed her every step, many of them being on a golf field for the first time. Driven by her enthusiasm and perseverance, Caitlin gave the competition a lively, youthful vibe that elevated it above a mere competition. She wasn't just having fun. The sport was being elevated by her. Since alone is all that matters, her love for the game is all that matters. I think probably the only person that is worried about how she plays is, I would imagine, Caitlin. Caitlin's impact was evident when she completed her round. She had used her unmistakable star qualities to bridge two different turns, basketball and golf. There was more to her presence than just her game. The goal was to inspire others to adopt a fresh perspective on sports, particularly golf. By the conclusion of the day, Caitlin Clark had not only performed brilliantly, but also made a lasting impact on the RSM Classic, altering the game's enjoyment forever. Not only did Caitlin Clark's attendance at the RSM Classic Prom cause a sensation, but it also elevated the occasion to a cultural moment. This has nothing to do with rankings or statistics. It demonstrated how one athlete can completely change the appeal of sports. People who might not have previously watched golf were drawn to the course by Caitlin's captivating personality. Many of the people she was strolling with weren't your usual golfers. They were supporters of Caitlin Clark, basketball aficionados, and WNBA devotees. There was a noticeable buzz about Caitlin's appearance. The enthusiasm spread like wildfire, even though her involvement had only been confirmed a few hours prior. Fans eager to witness her much-discussed golf game firsthand caused the throng to grow almost immediately. This phenomena, known as the Caitlin effect, demonstrated her exceptional star power. Although it is uncommon for an athlete to personally raise a sports profile, Caitlin has consistently demonstrated that she is anything from typical. She attended the course with her game. Along with her strong influence, she converted casual spectators into ardent golf enthusiasts. Her photographs were outstanding. They were inspiring. Caitlin proved she has the ability to compete with seasoned golfers by showcasing her accuracy and adaptability. Her ability to maintain composure under duress was a reflection of the thinking of her top rivals. Whether it was her constant focus throughout stressful putts or her approach shot that offered her a clear eagle opportunity, her resolve was evident in every action. The audience applauded even her mistakes because they respected her unwavering desire to do better. The conversations on the field covered much more ground than just Caitlin's golf skills. The greater significance of her achievement astounded PGA officials, other athletes, and spectators. Zach Johnson praised her ability to handle the demands of sports with such calm and described it as a transforming event. Her mere presence highlighted golf's range and accessibility, confirming that it is a sport for everyone. The diversity of her playing group, which included business people and well-known athletes, demonstrated how Caitlin bridges gaps between other sports, decades, and fan bases. The RSM Classic promised more than just a competition by the time Caitlin finished a round. It had turned into a historic occasion for both golf and sports in general. Caitlin successfully altered people's opinions by demonstrating that her athletic prowess is limitless. Caitlin Clark was at the forefront of the day's efforts to shatter walls as well as smash records. In addition to captivating the crowd, Caitlin Clark's performance at the RSM Classic Prom raised the bar for what crossover athletes are capable of. Caitlin's skill, focus, and agility were displayed with each stroke, changing the perception of what was conceivable for a player known for her supremacy in basketball. The audience went crazy as they realized they were witnessing history being made when she made a masterful second shot on the par 5, setting up a direct eagle opportunity. However, this was not the only highlight. The audience was in complete amazement of the performance's accuracy, tenacity, and breathtaking moments. Fans over, but many of the fans who were walking with her today aren't necessarily golf fans. They're either Caitlin fans or WNBA fans, and it's kind of their first exposure to the game. So a lot like last week, it was a really good step for golf and obviously for Caitlin in her fans. Her ability to read the material like an experienced expert was astounding. Caitlin played with a level of poise and skill that seemed almost superhuman for a multi-sport athlete, from lining her putts to the sheer force of her drives. Veteran golf professional Zach Johnson described Caitlin's attention and execution as unreal, noting that she delights on taking on challenges that most people would shy away from. How someone could go so smoothly into such a technically demanding sport left even seasoned golf officials and pundits perplexed. I'm excited, I think. Obviously our goal version playoffs last year we accomplished, but now, we want to be a championship contender. I think we're putting in the pieces to be able to do that. If we had some free agents, and you can just feel the excitement in the whole organization and in the city and our fans. So honestly, I can't wait to get back out there. I wish we had a game tomorrow. The unadulterated charm Caitlin brought to the events made her day even more memorable. Every hole was crowded with fans who followed her every step. It was many people's first time playing golf, but Caitlin turned it into an exciting show. The crowd's excitement was electrifying, full of yells and chants typically saved for basketball games, in contrast to the typically muted ambience of golf events. Every stride she took was accompanied by a wave of admiration, and her shots were met with thunderous applause.